Hey Saber fans, this is Adam from Blue for Sabers. Welcome back. Wanted to share a little bit of my side project here I was doing. Not really Saber related, but still cool nonetheless. So, as you can see, this is a Thor Hammer. So I wanted to give a little bit of backstory on this and just kind of what I was doing with it. I thought it was pretty cool, so I just figured I'd share it and show you a couple of the details with it that I found. So I wanted to find a hammer that wasn't too expensive. I was thinking about actually doing a 3D printed one, but I decided to just kind of go out, do a little bit of research, and find one that I thought was decent size-wise, had a good weight and look to it. And I saw the Marvel Legends one, and it was cool looking, but it had definitely a couple of negatives. I was watching a bunch of reviews, and I saw it, and I wasn't too thrilled about how it had the speaker down here and stuff like that. It was like a little hole that you could talk into for the microphone, and then it had like down here it had the battery pack and stuff like that. So when you were putting it on display like this one, you could see all that. So I definitely didn't want that one. I thought it was pretty cool with the sounds and everything and how it lit up and stuff. I wasn't too impressed with the bass either, so I went out, I was shopping around a bit, and I came across this one. So it wasn't too expensive. It's still plastic, and a couple of things I was looking for. I wanted to have a decent paint job on it, and this one I'm very impressed with how it came out. I was going to modify it and paint it myself, but honestly the paint is pretty darn good with it, so I didn't even go ahead and do any of that. And this one was about $65 is what I found. It has a great weight to it. So let me kind of go over the hammer itself, and then I'll go over kind of what I did to it with adding the sound and stuff. So starting at the bottom here, so it comes with this nice leather strap, and I think it's actually genuine leather with this nice little stitching here as well. This is plastic, but it has it's pretty thick, and it has some nice design on it as well. You could sand these down if you wanted to, but I just decided to leave them. Actually, it has a really nice paint job as well. I liked how that came out. This is a faux leather for the handle wrap, but it has a nice texture to it, as you can see. And then it's nice. It's darker leather too, which is what I liked as well. A lot of them came with like a lighter leather, and then it's all, kind of wraps around and everything too. The only thing I did with this is I took a little bit of brown marker and colored in a little bit of these edges here, and that helped with the kind of blending that in, because there's a little bit of the white of the vinyl leather. So the way this attaches is it actually screws into the hammer base on the inside, so it's pretty secure in the inside. It's not just glued on here or anything like that. And I'll show how it breaks down and stuff like that. But as you can see, it has a nice weathering effect on it that they did. I really liked how it came out. They have the nice little scratch marks here for around the edging, and it's kind of the way it's coming out on camera. It's a little bit darker, I guess, because I have the light on in my camera to bring out some of the details so you can see them. But it has all this nice raised details that go around as well, and that wraps around. Pick it up here on all the sides, and it's pretty detailed too. It's not all messed up like I've seen on a couple of them. And then on the top, you also have that's not scratch marks or anything. It's just a little bit of dirt, but it has the details here on the top as well, and they're nice and clean too. So I saw just a couple very little minor things on it in the paint, but I mean overall it's fantastic, I think, for the price and the quality of it. Like I said, it's got a really good weight to it as well. So it came with this base as too. So it's a molded plastic, but it's got a nice size to it. It holds the hammer really well, and it holds it at a nice angle too. So the only thing I did with this, it came just straight black. So I took some paint and weathered it down, and just dry brushed it over the top with some white and gray to bring out some of the highlights of the stone and stuff like that to make it a little more realistic looking. I think it came out really great. And then just clear coated the whole thing as well. It only took me about a half hour to do. So no big deal. And then it sits really great in there on a nice angle too. Nice and secure. So let me talk about just a couple of the things I did to it. Of course, I got to spruce it up and make it unique. Just kind of one of the things I do. Same thing with my sabers. So I wanted to do the same thing with this hammer as well. So let me put the camera down and I'll show you what I did on the inside. So I want to throw some sound in here. So the nice thing with this is the handle actually unscrews off. And you have to take that off because it kind of locks it all into place. Locks this bottom piece on. So it actually screws in pretty far. This bottom piece comes out, and this is another thing I was kind of looking for. These sides are a little tough to get off. As you can see, they're magnetic, and it matches up with the magnets on here. So with the side taken off, you can pop off the bottom. The other side comes off too, and I'll show you that in a second. So inside, let's pop this off too. So I drilled in and put a 28mm bass speaker in here with a 12mm switch. Pretty easy to solder up, and then just ran that to a Nano Biscotte V3 with a rechargeable battery, and it actually fits perfectly in the side here. So you have nice easy access to the battery and then to the SD card if you wanted to switch fonts around, or pretty much whatever you wanted to do with it. The bass speaker actually is pretty loud when you have the sides off. Does muffle it a little bit. However, when you do the clash effects, actually gives a nice kind of rumble to the hammer. So it's a give and take with it. Plus, too, the other thing I wanted to do with this is I wanted to have it to where it didn't have any switch on the outside, like the other kind of premium. Pretty much the Marvel Legends, I guess, is pretty much the only one that I know that really has sound, minus the kids versions. So I wanted to keep the outside nice and clean too. Get this back on. So it didn't have any switch. It didn't have any sound holes for the speaker. There we go. So I kept it all on the inside, so you don't see any of this while it's on display, but you can still have sound and everything. So like I said, it's a little bit of give and take when it comes to the sound quality. It does just get a little bit muffled, but you can still hear it. It's still fairly clear. And I'll fire it up in a second so you can kind of check it out. So that's the boot up sounds. That just fits right back over top. They got the hum sound just like the Saber. So you have 8 clash effects and 8 swing sounds. It's a little hard to do and keep it on camera with the swing. So I ripped the sounds right from the movie. So you got all the hammer sounds, you got some lightning effects. Of course you have the hum sound, which is the song from Thor Ragnarok. You've seen that movie. So I think it's pretty cool. Came out kind of just the way I was planning. Like I say, you just get it just muffles the sound a little bit. However, the entire thing is nice and clean. You don't see anything on the outside, so I think it's definitely worth to do it that way and to drill holes in there for sound. You can still perfectly hear it, and you can hear all the clash and swing effects. It's actually not too loud and kind of obnoxious too. It's definitely louder when you pull the ends off. It's a little bit cleaner sound than when you put it on, but as you can see, you definitely hear all the clash and swing sounds. So there you go. If you're interested in one, I was thinking about making 1 or 2 extras. Be kind of like a first come, first serve basis. Power that off. So it would be a first come, first serve basis. If somebody was interested in one, I'm going to keep this one for myself, but I would definitely be willing to make 1 or 2 if somebody would want to try one out. And if you are, just as always, hit me up in the comments. Please subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram. And until next time, take care and God bless.